When Stalin died in 1953, the new leader of the USSR is Nikita Khrushchev. At first, Khrushchev denounced Stalin's cruel policies and sought a peaceful coexistence with the United States. He also seemed fairly lenient in terms of his foreign policy, and this caused some of the countries in Eastern Europe to rebel against communism. But these rebellions were quickly crushed by the Soviets, and the leaders of the rebellions were executed. So the U.S. was unable to do anything about it because of the Warsaw Pact. It feared starting a major war. At the same time, in Egypt, President Nasser closed the Suez Canal to French and the British. This meant that the French and the British had trouble getting oil from the Middle East to Europe. So Nasser worked with the USSR to make this happen. So they're essentially provoking the Allies. France and Britain decide to ally with Israel and attack Egypt. So you can kind of see where the long-standing conflict between Israel and Egypt comes from. The U.S., however, does not want to provoke war and stays out of the conflict. Although the U.S. did not take part in the war, it did issue the Eisenhower Doctrine, named after President Eisenhower. This stated that the U.S. would help any Middle Eastern nation that was threatened by communism. So this is kind of an extension of the Truman Doctrine, which of course offered to help any European country being threatened by communism. To help fight communist subversive tactics, the U.S. develops the Central Intelligence Agency, otherwise known as the CIA. Of course, this group is a covert group that gathers information, particularly from enemies, often through secretive tactics, in order to protect American interests. This agency, of course, becomes more and more sophisticated over the years and is now a prime part of our government. In the next presentation, we'll talk about the space race and how that added to tensions between the United States and the USSR.